Welcome back to Thai Movie Recap, the podcast that dissects the most terrifying and iconic legends of Thai cinema. Today we're diving into a film that didn't just break box office records, it redefined Asian horror, Shudder, 2004. This isn't just a ghost story, it's a profound, chilling lesson in karma that sticks to your soul. Get ready, because the truth hidden beneath the flash and the smile is about to be exposed once again. The night of the compromise, the moral breaking point. Our story opens on two young lovers, Tham, the photographer, and Jane, his girlfriend, driving home from a boisterous reunion party. Everything seems perfect, the promise of a bright future, a few too many drinks, until that perfect bubble shatters on a dark, deserted road. The car slams into a mysterious pedestrian standing in the middle of the darkness. The sound of the impact is deafening. Jane screams, her voice cracking with terror. Jane, panicked whisper, "Tham, who did you hit? We have to go back and check. We need to help." But Tham, paralyzed by self-interest and fear of legal consequences, makes the fatal choice that sets the entire tragedy in motion. Tham, feverish, scared voice, "No! Jane, no! Nobody saw us. We saw nothing. If we call the police, my career is over. Our lives are over. Drive. Just drive." That single, horrifying decision is the film's cornerstone. Tham's desperate act of denial and self-preservation instantly transforms him and Jane from innocent couple into guilty co-conspirators. Jane carries the crushing weight of their immediate sin, while Tham begins the long, futile journey of running from the inevitable. The physical and psychological toll. The karma begins. In the immediate aftermath, the haunting doesn't begin with a jump scare. It begins with a physical affliction. Tham starts suffering from intense, debilitating neck and shoulder pain. Analysis of the symptoms. Medically, doctors can find nothing wrong, but spiritually and thematically, the audience immediately understands. This pain is the physical manifestation of guilt. The filmmakers use this genius device. The pain is not coming from the outside, it is something he is carrying. It's the physical burden of the crime that no amount of pain medication can ever alleviate. Simultaneously, Jane, consumed by guilt from the hit and run, begins experiencing chilling nightmares and wakes up with unexplained bruises and scratches, signs that whatever they hit is not resting peacefully. The evidence that can't be deleted, the photographer's curse. For Tham, a professional photographer, his very livelihood becomes the tool of his own torment. In the eerie, red-lit sanctuary of his darkroom, a place meant for creation, Tham is confronted by destruction. Every roll of film he develops, whether professional fashion shots or casual snaps, contains faint, ghostly white smudges. When magnified, these blurs begin to resemble a woman's face peering through the frame. This is the ghost's message. It's a genius piece of horror writing. The ghost haunts him through his own work. It uses the very mechanism of memory and truth, photography, to expose his lie. It's as if the spirit is telling him, "You think you can erase the past? My truth is now part of your reality." The couple initially convinces themselves that this is the ghost of the hit-and-run victim, and they desperately try to investigate the crash site. When they find no police reports, no body, and no signs of the accident, their fear shifts dramatically. Jane starts to realize that the entity isn't seeking justice from a random accident. It's seeking revenge for a secret Tham has been carrying long before they met. The haunting escalates, and the friends' sacrifices. As we left off, Tham and Jane are trapped in a cycle of denial and growing dread. Their frantic search for the hit-and-run victim proved fruitless, leading to a far more terrifying realization. This ghost is personal. It knows Tham, and it's systematically dismantling his life, piece by terrifying piece. The systemic revenge, the collapse of the inner circle. The haunting quickly escalates from ghostly blurs to deadly reality. The ghost shifts its focus, moving beyond Tham and Jane to target Tham's closest friends from high school. This is where the audience understands that the ghost's motive is deep-seated revenge, not random spiritual chaos. The first to fall is Teng, one of Tham's clique. Teng becomes completely consumed by paranoia, seeing the spectral woman everywhere. Teng's death is particularly gruesome and highlights the ghost's merciless plan. It's ruled a suicide or an accident, but Jane and Tham know better. The ghost is sending a clear, terrifying message. The whole group is guilty, and their karma has arrived. These friends are the stepping stones toward Tham's ultimate punishment. This pattern of deadly revenge highlights the film's central theme. No one who shared the guilt will be spared. The victims are forced to confront their past sins, but unlike Tham, they don't survive the confrontation. The Darkroom Showdown, the iconic scene of terror. This leads us to arguably the most iconic, scream-inducing scene in the movie, Tom's terrifying encounter in the dark room. This is the moment the physical and the supernatural violently collide. Trapped in the tiny, pitch-black space, only illuminated by the crimson safe light, Tham is attempting to destroy the photographic evidence, the very negatives bearing the ghost's image. Suddenly, the silence is broken by a terrifying presence. A flash of motion, a gust of unseen force, and Tham is violently thrown against the wall. The cinematography here is masterful. The red lighting saturates the scene, symbolizing blood, danger, and the burning shame of his secrets. Tham is not just scared, he is being physically brutalized by an invisible entity. He tries desperately to hold the door shut, screaming into the emptiness, but he is overpowered by the vengeful force. This scene is crucial because it shatters Tham's last line of defense, his rationality. He can no longer dismiss the events as stress or psychological breakdown. He is facing a real, malevolent force that is actively trying to hurt him. The half-truth, Tom's calculated confession. With his friends dead and his sanity frayed, Tham is cornered by Jane. She demands the truth, realizing that the haunting is tied to a secret he has kept for years. Jane, angry and distraught, "Tom, tell me who she is. It's not about the car accident, is it? It's about someone from your past." Tom, evasive and self-pitying, "Her name was Nate. She was my girlfriend in high school. My friends. They did terrible things to her. They abused her. She killed herself afterward. I tried to help Jane. I tried, but she thought I betrayed her." Notice the calculated manipulation here. Tham reveals only the surface level of the abuse and suicide. He casts himself as the tragic hero, the loyal boyfriend who tried to intervene but was misunderstood. He shifts the entire blame onto his dead friends, essentially using them as human shields. This confession is Tham's final, desperate attempt to win back Jane's trust and empathy, and for a moment it works. Jane believes him, but the relentless aggression of the ghost tells a different story. Jane realizes that the ghost is still angry, which means Tham's story is a lie. The stage is now set for Jane to conduct her own investigation, an investigation that will unearth the ultimate, sickening truth about the man she loves and the full extent of his betrayal. The ultimate betrayal and the burden of karma. Tham has delivered his practiced half-truth, hoping to wrap his dark past in a blanket of self-pity. But Jane is no longer fooled. The unrelenting fury of the ghost, despite Tham's tearful confession, signals that the real sin is far darker than he admits. Jane realizes she must seek the final, undeniable truth on her own. The trail to Nate's ghost, the last evidence. Jane travels alone to the dilapidated home of Nate, Tham's former girlfriend. There, she meets Nate's grieving, mentally disturbed mother, a poignant reminder of the collateral damage caused by Tham and his friends. In Nate's untouched room, a shrine to loss and pain, Jane searches desperately. She finds Nate's diary, detailing the betrayal and abuse she suffered. But the final piece of the puzzle, the true smoking gun, is hidden beneath a stack of books, a roll of undeveloped film. Jane rushes back and processes this final roll. As the image slowly develops in the chemical bath, the sickening reality of Tham's involvement emerges, shattering the last illusion of his innocence. The revelation. The true nature of the photographer. The photographs are the ultimate confession. They reveal that Tham was not the innocent bystander he claimed to be. The unforgivable sin. Tham was present during the vicious assault on Nate by his friends. He didn't just stand by. He was holding his camera, literally recording the crime. His hands, meant to capture beauty, recorded Nate's agonizing humiliation. The final betrayal. These images prove that Tham was not a victim, but an active participant in the cover-up and the subsequent abandonment that led to Nate's suicide. His fear of losing his social status and his friends' acceptance was stronger than his love or his basic humanity. Jane is utterly horrified. She confronts Tham, her love turned to disgust. This is the moment their relationship, and Tham's constructed reality, collapses entirely. Jane flees, leaving Tham alone to face the ghost he can no longer lie to. The madness and the inescapable sentence. Isolated and exposed, Tham's psychological breakdown is complete. He descends into a frantic, desperate effort to erase the past. He tries to burn the negatives, smash his camera, and destroy every physical reminder of Nate. But the torment only intensifies. The ghost is no longer just a shadow. It's a direct, visceral force. Tham, desperate to escape the relentless, agonizing pain in his neck and the constant haunting, chooses the only path he thinks is left: suicide. He jumps from his high-rise window, expecting death to grant him freedom. But this is where the theme of karma, the core of the film, delivers its cruelest twist. The ghost does not want him dead. Death is too easy. Nate wants him to live, to suffer, and to carry the weight of his sins. The iconic. Permanent attachment, the ultimate horror. Tham survives the fall, but is left severely injured and psychologically broken in a hospital bed. He is in agonizing, constant pain, particularly in his neck and shoulder. Jane visits, offering a cold final look, realizing the man she loved is a shell of a monster. The final legendary shot. Tham is seen whimpering on the bed, his neck rigid, his eyes wide with undying fear. The camera slowly, deliberately, pans away and focuses on the empty space over his shoulder. And then we see it, the image that cemented this film in the annals of horror history. The vengeful ghost of Nate, battered and vengeful, is perched on Tham's shoulders. She is the source of his crippling pain, the constant weight, the permanent physical embodiment of his guilt. This ending is flawless. Tham is not a ghost himself. He is a man condemned to live in a prison of his own making. He must endure eternal, conscious, physical torment, knowing that the victim he betrayed and killed is literally a part of him forever. The shutter did not just capture a ghost, it captured the immutable truth of his karma. That chilling conclusion begs the question, what specific part of Thai belief and karma makes this particular form of punishment so uniquely terrifying? Thank you for joining Thai Movie Recap on this deep dive into the horror that is Shudder. Remember to check your photos carefully, and more importantly, mind your karma. Thank you for listening to Thai Movie Review and Spoil. This was a heavy one, a story that leaves you with a lot to think about. What are your thoughts on the film? Which scene has stayed with you all these years? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. That's all the time we have for today. Until next time, goodbye.